Hello vinyl community, this is Randy back today with another video. Got some new records to show you today. I went to Phonolux last week. I showed some of the records that I got there. I got some 7-inch singles. I showed those. Also got some 12-inch records, some full-length albums. So yeah, so I'm going to show those to you today. That was Mittens just always bothers Sparky. I don't know why, because Sparky lets him know that he doesn't like it. Oh yeah, so I went to Phonolux and found some records there. Then when I went up to the checkout counter at the end, sitting right there, right next to the cash register, couldn't possibly miss it. The Ramones, Hey Ho, Let's Go. I immediately had to have it. My only hesitation was were all the coasters going to be in here? And I looked at it and they were all sealed. So, yeah, I mean, that was pretty obvious. Had to walk out with that. Rocket to Russia there. Looks like it's another photo from the Rocket to Russia session, but not exactly the album cover. Ramones. Never seen that one before. Yeah. What was that? I don't want to be a pinhead. Don't want to be a pinhead no more. And then Road to Ruin. Yeah. So Ramones coasters. Those will be used on a daily basis. So yeah, very excited about those. I got a record there. I got a couple records, full-length records there at Phonolux. The first one I got was this one. I was going to use this for background music, but it's awfully soft and stuff, and yeah, you really need to be able to hear it. So this is our background music today. I have been listening to this recently. This is a cassette that I got in, well, when did this come out? I think it came out in the late 80s or early 90s. It's like a tribute to Thelonious Monk. That's the way I feel now. This is a whole lot of jazz artists doing their renditions of Thelonious Monk songs. So really quite an awesome compilation. They're all really well done. Wide variety of artists on here, so yeah, I highly recommend that if you ever come across it. I got this Donny Hathaway collection record. This is a new reissue on Rhino. I think it had never been released on vinyl before. It was released as a CD, I think, in the 1970s or something. This is a 2-record set. There's no gatefold though. I've been listening to a little bit of Roberta Flack recently, and I wanted to get the Donny Hathaway Roberta Flack live album. I didn't see that one, but this is new, and this has the Donny and Roberta hits on it, so I was glad to get this one too. So 4 sides on here. He mostly does like some cover. He doesn't really write that many of his own songs. So he's doing A Song for You by Leon Russell. I won't go through the whole track listing here, but the Roberta and Donny songs are Where Is the Love? And then The Closer I Get to You. And yeah, well, I guess those are the 2 big hits. Then they also do this it was a new song to me, Back Together Again, Roberta and Donny. So that was really excellent. Yeah, I guess that was the hits right there. So Donny Hathaway. So yeah, there's like soul music. I guess these were recorded in the early 70s or early to mid 70s for the most part. Sounds really excellent. It's on this, like I say, it's a 2-record set. They both are on this cool purple vinyl. There's what the label looks like. Yeah, so this was a recent reissue on Rhino Records. Here's what the sticker looks like. Also, when I was there at Phonolux last week, I was looking through the records and came across this one, so wow, very exciting. This is 13th Floor Elevators. Yeah, I guess the name of this album is Rockiest of Levitatum. So I guess that sounds kind of like it's Latin or something. Yeah, I mean, they have that song called Levitation, so I assume that the title of the album is partially based on that. This is a, I don't know if this is really like a bootleg. I don't know if it's really official either. This is a European record. It was, this is on Vinyl Lovers, is the label. But then it says 2009 Floating World Records licensed from Fuel 2000 Records. So I think this came out in 2011. Either way, this was still new and sealed there at Grimy, so I was happy to get it. I have the first three 13-4 Elevators albums. I know they have more, one that's more like an official album from Avalon Ballroom, so I'm still on the lookout for that. I will definitely get that if I pick it up, but this is a good placeholder until then. So this is a compilation, I think, of, it's got the information about the songs and stuff about the band over here, but it's kind of sketchy about where these songs are actually recorded and stuff. I think these were probably recorded in Texas, and yeah, there's 15 songs on here, so it's mostly covers from their 3 studio albums, but there's also ones on here that are not from those studio albums. So Before You Accuse Me, a song that well, I know it by Creedence Clearwater Revival, but I think it was written by someone else. And they do an awesome version of The Word, the Beatles song, The Word. Yeah, I think it's much better than the Beatles version. They really, yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. They do this a lot of hit songs from their studio album. So it starts out with Roller Coaster, and then the second song is You're Gonna Miss Me, which I guess is probably the closest they came to having a hit song. And yeah, Don't Fall Down from that first album sounds fantastic. They're doing the background vocals on there and stuff. So yeah, it's not exactly a hi-fi recording. Also, there's silence between each song, so this is not like just like one show where the songs run into each other. Each song is cut off at the end. There's silence between each one of the songs. Yeah, yeah, this is just, it's fantastic. What is the description on here? Say you can, well, I can't remember what it said, but yeah, it's really good. Very psychedelic sounding, and yeah, I was really glad to get this. There's another album in Discogs, has almost the same cover and has pretty much the same name, but it's not exactly the same track listing on it. I assume it's probably just another bootleg put out by another company. So yeah, this one is, yeah, Vinyl Lovers is the name of the company, and it's nice heavyweight vinyl, and sounds perfect. So like I said, it's kind of a lo-fi recording, but I mean, as far as there's no clicks and pops or anything like that, it's a good pressing of that lo-fi recording, I guess. So yeah, I ordered in the mail and received it in the mail just I think it's probably been a couple weeks ago now that I received this July record. July, this is a British band. This record was recorded in 1968. Here's what the band members look like. This was on my want list. It's been on my want list for probably like a year or over a year. And I just can't remember who showed it initially that made me want to get it. I'm sure it was probably Dead Wax or Dots and Loops or Snowy, Psychedelic Snow. One of those people like that probably showed this and made me want to get it. So yeah, it's been on the want list for a long time, and I finally just well, it's hard to find one in the United States. I get all these notifications from Discogs about records of my want list are for sale, but they're almost always coming from Europe, and I usually just don't want to bother with that. But this one shipped from the United States, so I was glad to get it. I ordered it on, well, one day I ordered it, and the guy noted that the payment was received on that same day, and then about 9 days later I emailed him and asked him if he'd just forgotten to update the shipping. They had been shipped, but he said that he hadn't gotten any notification about it, but he would ship it that day. So yeah, I emailed him again a couple of days later and asked him if he was going to ship it. So he shipped it then that day. So I was glad was glad to get this one. I got another record from that guy too. I got a 7-inch single, the King Tough record that I showed a couple days ago. Came from the same guy. So anyway, it did get here eventually. So I was glad to get it, and I've been listening to this constantly over the past. Well, not constantly, but a lot over the past week or so. It's really fantastic. There's two main songwriters in this band. One of them is Cook, and one of them is Newman. Tom Newman is the guy right here. Whoever Cook is, it doesn't give his name. I think I saw his name in Discogs. I can't remember what it was, though. But he doesn't seem to be a member of the band, but he's written about half of the songs. So half of the songs written by Cook, half of them by Newman. And they're all great, but you can really tell a difference between the two. The ones that Cook wrote have very much of a Pink Floyd feel. Very early Pink Floyd, like the singles at the beginning, like Apples and Oranges or something like that, or at least maybe the Sid songs on the first album, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, have very much that kind of feel. They almost sound kind of like they're too derivative at first, but then once you get used to them more, they really aren't. They really have their own individual sound, and really like those a lot. But actually, I mean, the songs written by Newman, by Tom Newman, are my favorite ones on this album. They have much more of just a... So the ones by Cook are, yeah, sort of that childlike, poppy, psychedelic sound. The ones by Newman are much more truly psychedelic with, well, most of the songs I hear some fuzz guitar, but Newman's have even more, and words are fantastic. Dandelion Seeds is probably the most psychedelic song here, even though all of it's really good. Hello to Me is another one that Newman wrote. You Missed It All and The Way. Fantastic. My favorite song on the album is Move On, Sweet Flower, the second song on side 2, written by Tom Newman. So yeah, this album is just fantastic. The cover's kind of weird if you want to pause and look at that for a while. I really am not too big a fan. I'm trying to get that clear. Too big a fan of this album cover, but it is interesting. So yeah, July. Recorded in the late 60s. Evidently that was their only record. This was this 2014 Record Day reissue that I found new, from this vendor here in the United States. I think it was a European Record Store Day issue. So on Major Minor Records, this is also, I guess they teamed up with Parlophone or something, so it's called Parlophone Major Minor. You can see the Parlophone label right there, and they call this color Dandelion Seed color, I think, or something like that. So it's pretty yellow and red. It's pretty cool when it's spinning on the turntable. And then the have a big shout out to Vinyl Richie for letting me know about this Grateful Dead record that was going on sale from Real Gone Music. I used to be signed up to get notifications from Real Gone when they had new records coming out. I discontinued that email when they sent me a notification that Paris Hilton had it. They were reissuing the Paris Hilton record. That really made me kind of made me angry with all these, truly good artists out there with records that deserve to be reissued, and they decided to reissue Paris Hilton. But I have not heard that Paris Hilton record. It might be really good. I probably shouldn't have been so judgmental. But anyway, so I wasn't getting notifications, but Vinyl Richie let me know about this one, luckily before it went on sale. So yeah, I was really happy to get this one. There's only 2,000. You can see it's numbered up here, 615 of 2,000. They just wrote on there. So yeah, so I was really glad to get this one. This is the Grateful Dead 9/21/72 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. So this was Dick's Picks number 36. This is one of the Dick's Picks that I didn't get that many of the Dick's Picks CDs in the first place when they came out. I got less than half of them. So I didn't have this one, so that was really good. So it was a legendary show, 9/21/72 at the Spectrum. I used to have a cassette tape of it. I thought I still had it around here. It seems like I saw it floating around not even too long ago, but I don't have it anymore. I couldn't find it anymore, but that was just one 90-minute tape, so just a very small part of the show. Mostly the Dark Star was what that was. And so it's good to have the whole show. This is 7 records in here. And yeah, it's an awful lot of records. But it's a really long show. And then actually the very last record is some songs from a different show from September the 3rd, 1972 in Boulder, Colorado. So that's a whole extra record with songs from a different show. I think that's because when they did Dick's Picks 36, they had some space left at the end of the last CD, so they filled it up with some songs from Boulder, Colorado. This is an outstanding show, though. Starts out great and maintains the intensity all the way through. It's really, the first set is like an hour and a half long. Then they take a break and they came back out. But they really, just even the first set is great. The second song is Birdsong, which is 13 minutes long. I think it's kind of unusual even back then for them to go into a long jam from the beginning. But 9/21/72. So this is after the European tour, which was in spring of that year. Then they came back to the U.S. I think they played a few songs on the West Coast, and Pigpen's no longer with him by this point. He played his last concert with him, I think, in August of '72, even though he's still alive. This is with Keith Gottschall playing piano and Donna Gottschall doing backup vocals. And both sets of this are really great. The first set has an excellent version of Playing in the Band, 17-minute version of that, which is a jam song I usually think of as a second set song. And then, for me, the real highlight of this album is the Dark Star, which is 37 minutes long. It takes up half of one side and the full side of another side of the record. And then also these songs from Folsom Field, which may turn out to be my favorite part of it, side M and side N. It's He's Gone, 10 and a half minutes of He's Gone, then 28 minutes of the other one, and then they conclude with Wharf Rat. So that is 3 fantastic songs. The other one, they didn't play at Philadelphia, so it's good to get the other one on here too. So you get their big jam songs at the time, I think, Playing in the Band, Dark Star, and the other one. So, yeah, I was really glad to get this one. So, this is on black vinyl. Here's what the label looks like. Pretty basic label. And then there is just a 4-page insert here. I'm not sure. That does not look like it's an indoor picture, does it? I'm not sure where that picture comes from. Here's a picture of the original tapes. This is recorded by Bear. So I guess this is not part of those Bear Foundation CDs that they're releasing now, but incredibly high quality. The sound on this record is just truly amazing. The separation of the instruments is just perfect. You can just absolutely hear everything that everyone is doing, and the sound you can just see where they are on the stage. So really happy about that one. I did a Kings of Leon retrospective a couple weeks ago, and mentioned that they were going to be having a new album coming out, and I received that one in the mail. So this is a 2-record set, Kings of Leon, When You See Yourself. Ordered this directly from the Kings of Leon website. I've seen 3 different covers of this album. This one, a red one, and a white one. So I know there's an indie music store one on white vinyl. And I'll just go ahead and show you very quickly. This was on, I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell it though. It's on oh yeah, you can see it. They call it Smoke, I think Smoky Gray or something like that. So colored vinyl and 2-record set. I would really have preferred that they put it on 1 record. It doesn't seem like it's long enough to need to be on 2 records. It does sound excellent and everything. If they were going to do 2 records, I think I would have preferred they go ahead and just do it at 45. Here's the track listing. This may turn out to be my favorite Kings of Leon album. This is just fantastic. I would call this adult contemporary music. These are all, I guess they're basically, rock and roll oriented songs, but they're, mellow type songs that you'd be able to hear on the radio. I think a couple songs have been released from this. The Bandit, I think, may have been their first single from this. So, yeah, I've listened to this one quite a bit too. Really happy about that one. Here's the, came with inner sleeves. cool pictures of the band. This was a really high production. I mean, really well produced. There's keyboards on this record too, which I think add a lot to it. They're played by a non-member of the band, which I could probably look for his name, but I never really heard of him before. But mostly guitar oriented. All really well played. Oh yeah, here's that. Both records are that same smoky color. And then it came with this insert, this booklet, which is quite a few pages. This is a lyric booklet. So that really came in handy because for me these lyrics are really buried. Really hard to hear. And when you have the lyrics in front of you, they're not that hard to understand when you can read along with it. But yeah, the first couple times I listened to it without looking at the words, and kind of hard to understand the words. So I'm glad to have this booklet. So, picture of the band on the back. So yeah, that's all I got. Those the records I got in the first part of March 2021. So yeah, I'm just really happy about all of them. You know, I guess the main thing with most of these new records I buy now, I mean, I really just I'm not taking chances most of the time. Most of the time, I've either streamed them in advance or, well, something like that 13th Floor Elevators. I guess you kind of take a chance on the quality of the recording and stuff. But yeah, I thought it really sounded good. A really cool thing, another thing about that 13th Floor Elevators is how well they played. I mean, it's not sloppy at all. I mean, it really sounds like the records. You can tell they were well rehearsed. So, you know, supposedly they're tripping and stuff on stage, I guess, and everything. But yeah, they managed to maintain really well. So, so that's it. So I'm interested to know what you think about these records, and I hope everyone's doing well out there. Thanks very much for watching.